Welcome to Penny's Pantry. I'm Penny, and this is my kitchen. That's my pantry, but I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to make eggplant parm, and I have a few different kinds of eggplant here from the local farmers market. I picked them up on Saturday, and I wanted just to share a little about the eggplant, but I'm also going to make eggplant parm. I have a Rosa Bianca eggplant. That's what this is. It's a light purple. This is an Italian eggplant. Now this is a smaller one. You can find the bigger ones. This is what the farmer had this week, so I picked up that. And then these two are either Chinese or Japanese. He didn't know because he works for the farmer, so he didn't know which one was which. But according to my research, they're basically the same. One is Chinese and one is Japanese, and they're either or. So whatever. But what I'm going to do to get ready for the eggplant is I have my baking sheet and I lined it with paper towels, because what you want to do is you want to kind of draw out some of the moisture in the eggplant. So when you fry it, it actually fries up really well and there's no moisture in there. So I'm just going to cut off the top. And we don't need that. So I'm going to use a peeler and I'm going to peel the eggplant. That's it. Okay, so I peeled up my eggplant. I'm going to get rid of my peels. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mandolin and I'm going to slice it through. I have it set for a pretty good size. It really is a preference thing. I like mine with a little sustenance because I have to bread all these and I don't want to spend all my day breading. So this is the size. And I'm just going to lay them out on the paper towel. And they're going to just absorb some of the water. And then once they're all done, I'm going to salt them for a little while. I'm getting down to the end, and I'm going to put my protector on it because I don't want to get cut. Okay, I got the Italian eggplant done. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the Rosa Bianca. I'm going to cut off the top. I'm going to peel the skin, and then I'm going to slice it. I'm going to salt up this eggplant. I'm going to put another layer of paper towel, and then I'm going to be able to lay this out. Okay, so I'm going to take my mandolin, and I'm only going to be able to do a few slices because then it gets too big. But I'll do what I can. All right, now it's too big. That was quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do it with my knife as thinly as possible. And if you don't have a mandolin, this is what you would do anyway. Now, another option is I could cut it in half and then I could put it in there, which, okay, that's fine, but I don't like the way that looks, and it's no big deal. So I'm just going to slice it through as thinly as I can get it with the knife and it still be intact. Try to keep each slice even. Okay, So now we have the Chinese Japanese eggplant. What are we going to do? Are we going to make the little discs? No, we're not. And the reason why is just because, first of all, it's a pain to bread. And second of all, we are going to make the long skinny ones because I think it'll be more fun. So I'm going to peel it. Now, I'll tell you right now, this has a different smell. I mean, it doesn't smell bad. It's just different. It's more pungent, not in a bad way. Just smells like eggplant, just stronger. It's interesting. And it has a greener tint to it than the Rosa Bianca. I'm going to prep the other one and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am going to slice these, but this one is an awkward shape. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to cut it in half and then I'm going to throw it on the mandolin. Let's see if it works. Ah, looks good. Okay, I'm going to keep going and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I did the whole curvy one on the mandolin. This one, I'm going to see how it goes slicing it with the knife because it wasn't terrible with the mandolin. It actually was pretty easy, but the piece was bigger than what the mandolin can handle long-wise, and it was kind of a pain, and I ripped a lot of pieces. So I'm going to do it this way, and these are coming out so much better. Watch your fingers. Okay, and now when I get to the end, I'm going to slice it. I'm going to put my hand on it like this, and I'm just going to slice it like this. And one more. Just be careful. Don't cut yourself. Okay, same thing here. These look very pretty. And I think I'm going to like the flavor of these mixed with the other ones. It's going to just be a perfect amount of flavor, I think. Because you want to know you're eating eggplant. I mean, if you're going to eat eggplant, you want to know you're eating eggplant, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to lay these out on the paper towel. I'm going to salt them. I'm going to lay more paper towel down. Okay, so I laid out the last bit. I'm going to put my paper towel over it. I'm going to take another sheet pan and I'm going to put it over it. It doesn't need to have anything super heavy on it. Just a little bit of weight from the pan is enough. And what it's going to do is it's going to basically squeeze the eggplant out. And I'm going to let this sit for about an hour or so. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to bread it. And then I'm going to put it in the oven. And we'll go from there. All right, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, the eggplant has been sitting for about an hour. And the paper towels are actually, well, that one just dropped in the egg, but they're actually wet. Like you could see that they're wet. Okay, so they did its job. We're going to dip it in. Now, if you saw the chicken cutlet video, it's the same thing. So we're going to dip it in flour. We're going to dip it in egg. And then right into the breadcrumbs. That's it. And then we're going to make a pile of them here. And then what we're going to do is once they're all done, we're going to put them in the oven under the broiler. We're not going to fry them. We're going to do it in the broiler to make it a little less greasy. And I really like it that way. That's the way I've been making it for a long time. But I'm going to continue doing all the eggplant. And then I'll be right back when we're ready to line the sheet. Okay, I did most of the eggplant. It's all breaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my pan. I have a baking sheet here, and I'm just going to drizzle some olive oil. And I'm just going to make enough to coat the bottom. So I'm just going to use my fingers actually and just get it all over the bottom of the pan. And if you need a little more, don't be shy. All right. All right. So everything's coated. What I'm going to do is wipe my hand. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay the eggplant out on the pan. Okay, so the whole pan is covered. I'm going to just take a little bit more olive oil and I'm just going to drizzle. If you have a sprayer, you can use that. This is just enough to cover. You don't have to get every single piece saturated, but make sure every single piece has oil. My hand is not big enough. Okay. If you have one of those sprayers, you can use the olive oil for that. I do not like the synthetic cans of oil. I don't use that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this in the oven under the broiler. I'm going to set my timer so they don't burn, and that's for my family's sake. I'm going to cook them until they get just toasty on one side, and then I'm going to flip them so they're just toasty on the other side. We're not burning them. We're just making them golden. So you have to watch your oven. All right. I'll be back once this is done. Okay, I just took the eggplant out of the oven. This is what it looks like. And I did both sides. I flipped it. So the first side I did about 15 minutes. The second side I did for about 10. Now you have to know your oven. My oven has hot spots and doesn't cook that evenly. So there's a few pieces that I'm going to put back in, but I don't want everything to burn. So I'm going to just take off the ones that I want. And then we're going to throw some extra in, or some in for some extra time. But they look good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to layer the eggplant, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, we're going to layer the eggplant now. So we're going to start with a layer of sauce on the bottom of the pan. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it's going to be enough to coat the pan, the dish, the baking dish. This is a 9 by 13. You could use a smaller one if you have less eggplant, or a larger one if you have more. Okay. And I like these long skinny ones to fill in the gaps. All right. All right. And now we're going to do another layer of sauce. Can you see that? Should have my camera guy out here with me. All right, and we're going to do a layer of mousse. I just have it in a bowl right here. Nice thick layer. And more sauce. And this, you want to be a little bit more generous on the top, because all the sauce is it's gonna all go down as it gets heated up. But I like mine on the drier side. Now, some people don't and overload the sauce. Like if I go to a restaurant or somewhere, it's just too saucy. I like mine on the drier side, and that's how I make it. But you can add as much sauce as you want. But make sure all the eggplant is coated with your sauce, like that. And then you're going to add more mousse. And pecorino on top. And then you're going to bake it in your oven at 350. We're going to cover it 350 for about 40 minutes. And then you're going to take the cover off and you're going to let it brown for about 10 minutes. And here it is, fresh out of the oven, ready to be served. Enjoy.